color of Jupiter speak to us the chemical event that 4 billion years ago back on us lead to the origin of life. Day 647. The great red spot. A great column of gas reaching high above the adjacent clouds, so large that it could hold half a dozen Earths. Perhaps it's red because it's carrying up the view to the complex molecules produced or concentrated the greater depths. It may be great storm system, a million years old. Day 650. Encounter. A day of wonder, we successfully negotiate treacherous radiation belt on Jupiter with only one instrument, the photopolarimeter damaged. We accomplish the ring plane crossing and suffer no collision with the parties and boulders of the newly discovered ring of Jupiter. When wondered image of Amalsa, a tiny red oblong world that lived in the heart of the radiation belt. The multicolored EO, the linear marking on Europa, curvy features of Ganymede, the great multi-ringed base of Callisto. Around Callisto and past orbit Jupiter 13, the outermost of the planet-known moons, are outward bound. Day 662. Our particle and field detectors indicate that you have left the Jovian radiation belt. The planet's gravity has boosted our speed. You are free of Jupiter at last, and sail again the sea of space. Day 874. Lots of the ships lag on the star Canopus. In the row of the constellation of the rudder of a sailing vessel, which our rudder too essential of the ship's orientation in the dark of space to find our way through this unexplored part of the cosmic ocean. Canopus rock reacquired. The optical sensor seemed to have mistaken Alpha and Beta Centauri for Canopus. Next port of call, 2 years hence, the Saturn system. Of all the travelers' trail returned by Voyager, my favorite concern about discovered about on the innermost Galilean satellite. EO. Before Voyager, you were aware of something strange about EO. It could resolve a few features on its surface, but you knew it was red, extremely red, redder than Mars, perhaps the reddest object in the solar system. Over a period of years, something seemed to be changing on it, in infrared light and perhaps on its radar reflection properties. You also know that the particle parallel surrounding Jupiter and the orbital position of Io was a gray donut-shaped tube of atoms, sulfur and sodium and potassium, materials somehow lost from Io. When Voyager approached this giant moon, we found a strange multicolored surface unlike any other in the solar system. Io is near the asteroid belt. It must have been thoroughly pummeled throughout its history by falling boulders. In fact, craters must have been made, yet there were none to be seen. Accordingly, there had to be some process of Io that was extremely efficient in lobbing craters out and filling them in. The process could not be atmospheric, since Io's atmosphere had come mostly escaped to space because of its low gravity. It could not be running water. Io's surface was far too cold. There were a few places that resembled the summit of volcanoes, but it was hard to be sure. Linda Moravito, a member of the Voyager's navigation team responsible for keeping Voyager precisely on its trajectory, was routinely ordering a computer to enhance the image of the edge of EO to bring out the stars behind. To her astonishment, she saw a bright plume standing up in the darkness from the satellite surface and soon determined that the plume was exactly the position of one of the suspected volcanoes. Voyager had discovered the first active volcano beyond the Earth. We know now of the 9 large volcanoes, spewing out gas and debris, and hundreds, perhaps thousands of extinct volcanoes on EO. The debris rolling and flowing down the side of the volcanic mountains, arching in great jet over polychrome landscape. Polychrome landscape is more than enough to cover the impact crater. You are looking at the fresh planetary landscape, the surface newly hatched. How Galileo and Huygens would have marveled. The volcanoes of Io was predicted. Before they were discovered, the Santan Female and his co-workers who calculated the tides that would be raised in the solid interior of Io by the combined pools of nearby moon Europa and the giant planet Jupiter. They found that the rocks inside Io should have been melted, not by radioactivity, but by tides. That much of the interior of Io should be liquid. By now it seemed likely that the volcanoes of Io are tapping on underground ocean of liquid sulfur, melted and concentrated near the surface. And solid sulfur is heated a little past the normal boiling point of water to about 115 Celsius degrees. It melts and changes color. The higher the temperature, the deeper the color. If the molten surface quickly cooled, it retains its color. The pattern of the color that we see on EO resembled closely what you would expect if rivers and torrents and sheets of molten sulfur were falling out of the mouths of the volcanoes. Black sulfur the hottest, near the top of the volcano, red and orange, including the rivers nearby, and great plain covered by yellow sulfur at the greater remove. The surface of EO is changing on a time scale of the months. Maps will have to be issued regularly, like weather report on Earth. Those future explorers on EO will have to keep their wits about them. The very thin and tenuous atmosphere of EO was found by Voyager to be composed mainly of sulfur dioxide, but this thin atmosphere can serve a useful purpose because it may be just thick enough to protect the surface from the intense charged particles in the Jupiter radiation belt on which Io is embedded. At night, the temperature drops so low that the sulfur dioxide should condense out as a kind of white frost. The charged particle would then immolate the surface, and it would probably be wise to spend the night just slightly on the ground. The great volcanic plumes of Io reach so high that they are close to injecting their atmosphere atoms directly into the space around Jupiter. The volcanoes are the probable source of the great donor-shaped ring of the atoms that surround Jupiter in the position of Io's orbit. These atoms gradually spiraling toward Jupiter should coat in a room of Amalshak, and may be responsible for its reddish coloration. It's even possible that the material outcast from the EO contribute, after many collision and condensation, to the ring system of Jupiter. The substantial human presence on Jupiter itself is much more difficult to imagine, although I suppose gray balloon cities permanently floating in its atmosphere are a technological possibility for the remote future. As seen from the near side of Io or Europa, the immense and bearable world feels much of sky hanging aloft, never to rise or set. Because almost every satellite in the solar system captures constant pace to each planet, as the moon does the Earth. Jupiter will be a source of continuing provocation and excitement of the future human explorer of the Jovian moons. As the solar system condensed out of interstellar gas and dust, Jupiter acquired most of the matter was not ejected into interstellar space and did not fail inward to form the Sun. Had Jupiter been several dozen times more massive, the matter in its interior would have undergone some nuclear reaction, and Jupiter would have begun to shine by its own right. The largest planet is a star that failed. Even so, its interior temperatures are sufficiently high that it gives up about twice as much energy as it receives from the Sun. In the infrared part of the spectrum, it might even be correct to consider Jupiter as a star. Had it become a star in visible light, we would today inhabit a binary of a double star system, with two suns in our sky, and the night would come more rarely occur commonplace, I believe, in countless solar systems throughout the Milky Way galaxy. We would at least think the circumstance natural and lovely. Deep below the clouds of Jupiter, the weight of the overlying layer of atmosphere produced pressure much higher than any other found in Earth. Pressure so great the electron and squeezed up hydrogen atoms, producing a remarkable substance, liquid metallic hydrogen, a physical state that has never been achieved on Earth. There is some hope that metallic hydrogen is a space superconductor at moderate temperature. If it could be malfunctioned on Earth, it would work a revolution in electronics. In the interior of Jupiter, there are pressure that about 3 million times the atmospheric pressure at the surface of the Earth. There is almost nothing but a great dark sloshing ocean of metallic hydrogen. But at the very core of Jupiter, there may be a jump of rock and iron. There are Earth-like walls in a pressure vise, hidden forever at the center of the largest planet. The electrical current in the liquid metallic interior of Jupiter may be the source of the planet in